Hi, I am here with Jen Holtvluwer. She is the head of North America for marketing and inside sales. And I met Jen in January 2017, and we were talking about social selling and digital selling best practices. Came in and did a workshop, and it was very clear. Jen had organized all the sales and marketing leaders from Cherwell's entire sales organization, brought them into a room, and it was very clear that she was a fantastic leader, bringing everybody together for change management. And over the last 18 months, we've been working together. I wanted to take the time to interview Jen in a few minutes and get some tips, tricks, and tactics of what makes her a great sales leader. So Jen, I'm going to ask the very first question. What was the trigger or the impetus of why you wanted to bring social selling and digital selling into your organization as a skill and a competency for your sales team?
Yeah, well, great to be here. Thanks, Jamie. It's a really good question. You know, the trigger that we really knew we needed to overcome was when we came to terms with being a challenger brand, right? So as a challenger brand, we knew we needed to get an edge up against our competitors who had much more market share recognition, much larger budgets. So we knew we really had to work smarter, not harder, to use that old cliche. And by working smarter, we really needed to get new tactics that allowed our sellers to really break through all the noise that's out there, right? That the buyers are sifting through day in and day out. And by incorporating more social listening into our sales efforts, it allowed our team to take what they were learning through different social channels, personalize those messages, and then engage with more prospects to get the meeting and ultimately get the right folks in the door to get opportunities generated. So it was really that challenger brand that we knew we were, finally came to terms with it and said, what can we do to work off of a much more smaller budget, but still increase that seller's reputation too? Because again, we trained our sellers to engage first, share content first, don't try to sell them right out of the gate, listen to what you're seeing with those signals online. And once we came to terms with that, it has really helped us grow our market share and grow our opportunity numbers.
And this is fantastic. And I mentioned this to Jen a few months ago. I've been doing a speaking circuit on digital sales leadership and the 10 best sales leaders that I've met throughout my career that are capable of driving accountability, not only the first to make the change happen, but driving accountability. So how have you, Jen, and there's a very specific tactic of communication that I think you're incredible at from a cadence standpoint, but how are you driving accountability to ensure that your team is learning a new skill, applying that skill, and then reinforcing the application of that skill so that it becomes habitual?
Yeah, you know, for us, it's all about knowledge is power. So, you know, social selling is just a different or quote new, not even that new anymore, but tactic in our sellers' tool belts. And when we learned that they really needed more confidence around how to do it, what we did was we put in bi-weekly training sessions for them to attend and made them mandatory. They were no longer than 20 to 30 minutes. And what we did was we roped in our sales enablement team, our product marketing team, to really get the team more comfortable talking about the product. So when they were out there on the social channels finding those nuggets of information, they could talk more in a what's the word I'm thinking of? Just knowledgeable, right? Knowledge is power. Talk to them about our solutions in more depth. And once they did that, you know, we put metrics in place and said, okay, we've taught you something about this pain point. You're going to use video to incorporate your engagement efforts. And once we put metrics in place, we, of course, being sellers, had to put incentives behind it too. So they were trained, we put metrics in place, we had incentives, And then when those folks actually hit their metrics, we constantly reinforce and celebrate our wins and our successes. So that's really what I've done as a leader, is identify that, boy, when there's some timid or lack of knowledge on the product or a new way of selling the product through incorporating social selling, let's get the training on board biweekly, let's get metrics in place, let's track it, let's use it as a coaching effort in our one-on-one efforts with the team, reward them for those that are doing well, add additional coaching for those that may be struggling. And that's really what I've done to help hold the team accountable, so that they can be more successful in getting those meetings and generating more opportunities for the business.
Fantastic. And last question, Jen. Let's say I'm new. I'm a new sales leader, or I'm a sales leader that's been doing the same thing over and over, and I want to evolve and learn. What is a Jen tip? What is, if you were to give a leader one thing practical or tactical that they could implement right now to become a better sales leader? Forget even about social selling. Just what would you do to become a better sales leader and help your peers?
Yeah, that's simple to me. I'm all about servant leadership. And for me, it's, walking a couple days in a seller's shoes by helping cover their desk while they're on vacation, while maybe they're out sick or on leave, to really understand what they go through. And while you're covering that desk, you can actually lead by example and show other folks how you would do it. So I think it's really important for leaders to walk a mile in their seller's shoes and show them some tricks that they have up their sleeve. Also see what pains they may be having, and be able to provide additional support and answers around those pains. So it's really, to me, it's all about don't stay in your office, don't be hands off. By no means don't be a micromanager, but really practice that servant leadership where you're getting in there, you're understanding what works, what doesn't work. You're actually leading by example to be that change agent, and then people want to see success because they see your passion, they see your perseverance, and it really helps with morale, and it helps at the end of the day create more opportunities, which is what we're measured on.
Well, and wrapping up, talking about servant leadership, Jen is on vacation and she's taken a moment out of her day to give back to the sales community. So thank you so much, Jen. That is the kind of gifts that we love, just paying it forward to the sales community. So thank you so much. You have a great rest of your vacation, and hopefully this helps the sales community.
Thanks for having me.
You take care.